So I'm Kelly Fide. I'm an agile coach, and this is Paloma Martinez. Thank you so much for being here.
Hi.
And why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, where you are, what you're doing in terms of agile or learning agile, and where you came from.
I came from a background of events, and I did some research on new project management uh, methodologies, and I found Agile was super interesting. So I took a Prince 2 Agile course last May and July, and I want to learn more, and I'm trying to gain more experience through a volunteer job that I'm doing.
Awesome. And are you still based in London?
Yes, I'm still based in London. Yeah.
So for people who don't know what Prince is, can you give us a short summary of what that is?
Yes, so Prince 2 is a project management methodology which was implemented by the British government. So many companies in the UK work with that methodology.
Cool. Okay. So as you know, and a lot of people out there know, a common problem is that people take an agile project management training or a pure agile course like Scrum Master, and you pass the exam, you study hard, you earn the exam, but then you have a problem, which is that it's hard to get the job without experience because that's what companies are looking for. And the reason I'm so excited to interview you is because you went out and found a volunteer opportunity. So how did you find it?
So obviously the whole pandemic and the whole situation that everybody's living right now is giving lots of options for people to develop new features, new apps, new programs, new websites, there's loads of opportunities out there. What happened is, and it's loads of Scrum Master jobs as well. So because everything is becoming remote, everything has to be done by computers, which is what agile methodologies are based on specifically, more specifically. And what I wanted to learn, it was about events, virtual events, because physical, like face-to-face events will not be able to happen. And right now, until July this year, probably won't happen in a big scale. So I wanted to develop that side because I didn't have experience. So I looked for a job or for a volunteering role which I could learn. So I found this company which was called Fight Pandemics, and now it's called Doing Good. The same background is the same values and the same mission is to help others. So I found that which was super interesting. So I started working with them from October, and I was part of the events team. So I started learning how to use Slack, how to use Notion, which is a program, like a platform where we can share documents and we could create information, like all the processes we can share. Everybody can have access to it, which I found super interesting. So that is how I found it, like through, I think I saw it on Indeed, volunteer role. And I joined, I have an onboarding, and everything was super cool because I could speak with people from everywhere in the world, and having those channels on Slack where you can communicate with people from different parts and share your problems or your achievements. And it was super cool. I mean, and from there I started working with them, and now I became the event coordinators for them.
Very cool. So finding the opportunity on Indeed, does Indeed have like a filter for volunteer jobs, or how exactly did you find it?
Well, I found I didn't add a volunteer uh, name on it, like a word. It came up as an event like coordinator, like virtual event manager, and then the specification on the description explains that it's a volunteer job, which it was appealing to me because I thought, well, I don't have so much experience on virtual events, so I could gain that experience working with them and learning from others who got the experience.
That's so interesting. So you had all this experience in event planning, and I know you have a lot of education. You have an MBA from where? I'm trying to remember.
Is It's from the CEU San Pablo in Madrid
Okay.
University.
Right. So you have a lot of education, you have a lot of experience, and you decided to expand your experience from in-person event planning to remote event planning. And I know you just finished a huge event.
Yeah, we just finished a big event, which was on Thursday.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So what advice would you have for people out there who maybe have taken a course like yours, the Prince Project Management Agile training, and they would like advice on how to find a volunteer opportunity where they could start to grow some of their Scrum skills?
I will say that because obviously you can apply agile methodologies to many different roles. You just need to set up your mind on an agile methodology and an agile way of seeing things. So I will say, if someone wants to find a volunteer job in order to gain experience, they need to find a company which aligns with their values and mission, because it's very important, as you're doing a job for free and you will have to dedicate time to make sure it works well, and it has to be aligned with what you feel is right as well. So it doesn't feel like a job that you have to, it's an obligation. You do something because you want to do it, that you want to learn. So that is my main advice, like for people who wants to do a volunteer job. If you're interested in fashion and you want to learn about fashion, maybe try to get a volunteer job on a fashion company or a platform which does something related to fashion. For example, the one I'm doing is a platform, is a startup who was developed to help people to get in contact with other people with offer helps and people who needs help, which is, I think, is great idea, because right now people needs to help each other, especially with the whole situation. So for me, it was something very important and it helped me a lot. And the community we have built of all volunteers is amazing. And everybody's there specifically because the community that we have built and what we're building together.
That is so cool. And in a way, what you're saying is so aligned with Agile and Scrum, because it's a values-based way of working based on respect for people and courage and collaboration. That's even what I tell like my next door neighbor when she asks me, I know you're a consultant, but what do you actually do for work? And I say, I do Agile, and they give you like the blank look. And so I just say, it's a values-based way of working based on respect, courage, collaboration, experimentation. They're like, that's so cool. How can I learn more about that? So thank you so much for your advice and sharing your experience. I really appreciate it, and I hope it's helpful to people out there watching.
Yeah, thanks for asking, really. And it's been great meeting you and to get all this insight from your side as well.
I'm glad.